What's up, everybody? Another day, and you know what it is. It's 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you know that it's off the bounce time, baby. Welcome, happy Wednesday. I'm your host, F.A. Picks, joined by my two co-hosts today, Alpha Dog and BBB. Alpha, how we doing today? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, boys. Another day. We have a beautiful slate tonight. Excited to dive into it with you. BBB, what is up, my friend?
What's good, guys? Monster slate today, and I'm just ready to dive in.
Well, slow your roll. We got one thing to do before that, and you know what it is. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend. Pure Wage. Wasn't for him, wouldn't be here every day getting to talk about the beautiful game of basketball with all you folks out there. Before we even get started, let me please ask every one of you and thank every one of you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you're commenting in the chat. And let's get some retweets out there. Let's have an interactive, fun show. Big NBA slate tonight. But before, let's recap last night, guys. We had a 5-game slate yesterday, folks. I'm not even going to waste anybody's time and talk about anything other than the only game that broke my heart a million times, and that is the late night action between the Kings and the Lakers last night. Most of you probably watched yesterday that are watching today, so I won't waste any of your time and tell you that we all, three of us, had Kings plus 6.5. I don't know if you watched the last, what do you guys think, minute? Honestly, even the last 30 seconds of that game, but I'm going to give it to you in a 10-second recap. The Lakers kept missing free throws to the point that the Kings had the ball down 5. De'Aaron Fox lets the ball hit off the rim, off a free throw, and lets it hit the ground. But the clock started moving because the clock operator thought that De'Aaron Fox touched it. He never touched it. By rule, because they had to stop the game because the clock was running and De'Aaron Fox never touched it, it's a dead ball. Dumbest rule ever. But guys, it's a rule. When are we going to start letting the refs use common sense and being able to not follow the rule book word for word? That's what pisses me off more than anything. I can't even blame the ref, right? He's following the rule book. It's the rules that need to be amended, and the refs need to be allowed to use common sense in situations where stupid, dumb, the decision they made to have a jump ball.
I couldn't agree more. It was one of those situations, though, that it's something you don't see happen quite too often. Clock error.
Alpha,
it's unfortunate. Trust me, I'm with you. It was my POD. It was a shit ending to that game. Everything that could have went wrong in the final minute of that game did, which was the only way to lose that cover. I mean, the Kings had that cover for 47 minutes and 30 seconds, just not the last 30 seconds of the game. Just one of those that's like you don't see too often. Do they need to make a new rule to fix that so it doesn't happen in the future? Probably. Do they need to do something? Probably. But it's just one of those weird situations. It's just a bad beat, just a bad break, and we move on from there. We got a big show today, boys. Let's not harp on this too much. One more recap I want to talk about yesterday was that Grizzlies game. You knew I had to bring it up. Whole world versus Alpha on that one on this show. Was a good game. Grizzlies closed that one out by 4. All the other games yesterday, we had the Knicks-Pacers. I had the under in that one. Hefe had the Knicks, so that was a good one for us as well. But Hefe, we have an absolutely monster 11-game slate tonight. Let's get into it so we can give the people what they want.
I also, just the last thing, I don't even blame De'Aaron Fox for kicking the ball out when he had the wide open layup for the cover because I deserved to lose at that point. Just let the refs use common sense, please. They let it happen in the NFL. They let it happen in the NFL all the time. Just let the refs use freaking common sense. I'm done. I won't say another word about it. I swear to God, we're going to move on.
Let's do it.
Breakdown time, fellas. We got a lot of games to go over tonight. We have some huge matchups to go over tonight. But we're going to start out with the Rockets and the Wizards. So Houston is visiting Washington tonight. Listen. The Rockets they're playing like the Houston Rockets, right? Like the team that we thought they were going to be. The Wizards are playing fantastic basketball. Team basketball, finally. Their stars are showing up. The role players are showing up. They've been playing better as of late. Houston is on a 7-game losing streak right now. The line is minus 7.5. for the Wizards. BB, let's start off with you, man. You didn't get into my Kings rant, so tell us what you like in this game, if anything.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. The Rockets, like you said, have just been an awful team as of late, like they have been for most of the season. They're kind of coming back down to earth after they had a little win streak, a couple weeks ago. Wizards, they're up and down all over the place. I think this is kind of a Wizards or no play. Maybe look for some props. I could definitely see this being a blowout, so maybe some sneaky unders in there, find some high. I think Bradley Beal's assist is like super high. If this gets a blowout and they have to sit, you could easily sneak out one of those. So yeah, maybe try to find a prop there. I like that Bradley Beal under. Other than that, this is kind of a layoff game for me with such a giant slate. What about you, Alpha?
I'm in the same boat. One of my kind of general rules with the Wizards is I think Spencer Dinwiddie is a huge part of this team. He may not always be the biggest in the stat sheet, but he keeps the offense moving, he keeps the ball flowing, and he keeps that team together. He's going to be out again tonight, and I don't trust going against the Wizards in the spot by taking the Rockets, so I'm not going to waste anyone's time. With 11 games, it's a layoff spot for me. Hefe, do you have anything for the people on this one?
Nothing official. Lean the Wizards here. Just real simple. Better team wins. The Houston Rockets are absolutely reeling. They have no identity, and that's the worst thing you could say about a team is when they have no identity. They really have no strength, and I see the Wizards catching them at a good time, and the Rockets catching the Wizards at a bad time. Lean Wizards -7.5, but nothing official on this game from me. All right, moving on. We got this game, the Nets versus the Pacers. And I wish I could tell you that the storyline is about the Nets versus the Pacers, but if you know anything about what's going on, it is absolutely not. So let me not even waste any time to go over any of the teams. This is Kyrie Irving's first game of the year. We have no idea if he's starting. We have no idea if he has a minutes restriction. We have absolutely no idea about any of that because Coach Steve Nash said that he will not let it be known until he absolutely has to, which will be about an hour before tip-off. In my personal opinion, and this is just my opinion, I think Kyrie plays a big role tonight. I think he has to. I think he probably starts. The whole point of them allowing Kyrie to play this, part-time player role is because Kevin Durant leads the league in minutes played. Guys, Kevin Durant, they cannot be playing him as much as they are, and they know that because of his injury history and because they have big-time aspirations to have a deep playoff run and play in the championship. This is why they're giving Kyrie this chance, because playing Kyrie takes a whole lot of stress off KD on the road. Call me crazy, I lean the Pacers here, +8.5. I think a lot of hoopla about the Nets tonight. I think it'll be a lot of eyes, a lot of attention on Kyrie, on his every movement, on his every shot. I see a sneaky backdoor cover from the Pacers, very possible. Alpha, anything from you on this game, and maybe it's just some thoughts on Kyrie's situation?
Yeah, for me, it's just kind of going to watch this game and see what unfolds. We have no clue what's going to happen with Kyrie, what he's going to look like. I've seen the whole entire world, though, on Kyrie's over points tonight. I believe it's on 19.5. I have no action on this one. If I were to take any play on this game, probably be the under on that. I think Kyrie's going to want to be a team player, first game back. And, the stigma that it was a selfish move of him to do all this, he wants to prove that he's a team player. I think he's going to come out pass first tonight, and I think he's going to want to make this team click. So I lean the Kyrie under points as the only play I'd have on this one, but not taking anything official. BBB, do you like anything on this one? Or what do you think about Kyrie coming back as a part-time player?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a weird situation, and that kind of plays into my thought tonight. I like your perspective there. I think that's a really good narrative that could very well happen. But just the unknown factor in this game, the fact that it's one of my most confusing teams, the Pacers playing, where who knows what's going to happen. And then you got the whole Kyrie situation. So, I couldn't tell you what's going to happen. I wouldn't take a side on this game, but I do like that angle on the Kyrie under. I think he comes out passing. There's just no reason for him to come out and try to drop 40 because it's just going to build that selfish narrative again. And he's pretty big on his image right now coming back into the league. So I like that angle right there.
You guys One more quick thing. I'm sorry, Hefe. There are some question marks about this game as well on the injury front. Brogdon's been upgraded to questionable. Duarte's questionable. Both guys missed the Knicks game last night, so they could be getting some fresh legs back. I know that they're a team that's playing on a back-to-back, but they could have a couple guys come back to the rotation. So there's just so many different moving variables in this one, guys. A lot of unknowns that, for me personally, I think this is going to be a layoff unless you're going into props.
Yep, I'm with you guys. Just general, yes or no question. You think Kyrie has a good game?
I
Yes,
think he has a good game. I don't think that doesn't necessarily mean dropping a lot of points or anything, but I think he has a good
agreed.
No,
team
yeah,
team rounded
I'm
game.
I'm honestly half and half. I can see him having one of those games where he takes 5-6 shots because of exactly what you guys were saying. He is going to try so hard for tonight not to be about him that it'll still be about him, if that makes sense. Either way it
100%.
goes. He's bad, he's good, he's indifferent. It's about him. This final score does not matter, which is why it's only a lean for me on the Pacers, not an official play. But
One thing I'm very
yes.
curious. One more quick thing. One other thing I'm curious about with Kyrie is how many minutes is he going to play? Not tonight, but let's say 5 to 6 games from now, and they only have a couple road games, and then they're going to have a home stint after that. Is he going to be playing super big minutes, knowing they only have him for these specific games? They're not going to be able to save his minutes for the next game. There's a lot of different things we're going to find out about Kyrie and what he's going to be doing in the near future.
And let me tell you something, and we'll move on after this. The Nets should not know the answer.
There
to this
is no
question
answer yet.
because there is no
Absolutely.
answer. This has never happened in the
Agreed.
history of any league, to my knowledge. So that's a great point. How do you? Does he just play all the minutes?
Exactly.
Because
You don't know.
at home he can't play. Can't play in Toronto. He can't play in the Warriors arena. So it's a weird situation.
Fluid
Speaking of, our next game, Warriors at Mavericks. Warriors are -45 as the visitors. Huge night for the Dallas Mavericks organization. It is Dirk Nowitzki retirement day. He will be honored. His number 41 will be retired in the banners forever at halftime. Personal note on this. I like to fade teams that are having a big ceremony. Don't know why. It just seems that a lot of the emotions involved when there's a big ceremony for a big player, especially in basketball, especially a guy like Dirk, who, I mean, he is the epitome
Absolutely.
of Dallas Mavericks. He is that franchise, has been for my entire life. And I just see a lot of emotions coming out of the Mavericks tonight. And they're not facing a team that they can take a night off. They're not facing a team that they could even think about anything else other than the game. This spread at -4.5 is a little sketch to me, but I'm not, BBB, listen to me. I'm not going to get cute with it. I'm just going to think about this straight up. The Warriors are winning this game. They're going to win this game by 5 or more points. Give me the Warriors -4.5. This is a play for me. BBB, talk to me.
Well, with all that said, I am going to get cute on this one. This is Dirk night. The energy is going to be high. They're going to want to play for him. I agree. There is some fade spots where I don't think it's necessarily as much of an emotional night. These guys aren't, necessarily going to be like, it's not like the loss of a coach or the loss of a player that's going to really like mess with them. I feel like, but it's more of an inspired play moment, I think, in my opinion. So I think they come out, they try to put on a show for Dirk. They've been hot as of late, and I'm looking to ride them here. I think the line's pretty telling. It's a real short line. I don't know if, so yeah, I think I'm definitely getting cute on this one, but I like the Mavs a lot tonight.
I need to cut you off, Alpha, and just answer a question that we had in the comments. From Kobe No Brian 2. Kyrie cannot play in San Francisco because San Francisco has the same rule as New York City. I understand why you're saying Beal can play in Brooklyn, but Brooklyn has a rule for New York City residents only. San Francisco has a rule for all residents. Kyrie will not be able to play at the Warriors, and he won't be able to play at Toronto because of that country. They don't even have fans right now.
Yep. All right, can I get into my POD?
Yeah.
Or we good?
Shoot.
Because I got my POD is on this game, boys. So let me give you a little bit of knowledge about both these teams, a little bit of information.
Speak some numeric facts for us.
The Warriors, guys, are the #1 defensive team in the NBA, and they're going up against a Dallas Mavericks team that has the slowest pace in the NBA, the absolute slowest. The Dallas Mavericks offense also ranks in the bottom 10 of the NBA, and the total's a little bit elevated tonight because the last few games have seen some higher scores. We will not have Kristaps Porzingis tonight, which is going to be a huge factor for the Mavericks rebounding, and this one is going to stay low. Under 214 is my POD, guys, my favorite play of the night by far. Big night, a lot of emotions. Dallas is going to play some defense in this one. They're going to want to keep this one close. They're going to want to win it for Dirk. I think this stays under pretty comfortably, so my POD, guys, is the under 214.
All right, you heard it there, folks. You heard it there. We got plays on all sides of this game.
We're all over this game.
Moving on, we got the Raptors and the Bucks. Raptors coming off a back-to-back last night. They whooped some San Antonio, but tonight they're traveling to Milwaukee, who's playing without Giannis. It just says illness for him. Let's not assume anything. I think he's already been out with COVID. I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm remembering
I'm
that
not
wrong.
sure.
But either way, no Giannis tonight for Milwaukee. Alpha, start us off.
Guys, this one isn't one of my favorite spots of the night. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not going to have an official play on this game, but I do lean the Raptors in this spot at the +3. I just think this one's going to stay close without Giannis. I'm not sure they're going to win outright, but I think this game will stay within a couple points. Could he probably push on that as well, but not a spot that I love. I think the line's pretty sharp. If I had to take something, I'd lean on the Raptors +3, but I'm not going to have any action on this game. BBB, do you have anything on this one?
Yeah, going back to the prop scene on this one, with Giannis out, obviously he's a big contributor on their offensive side of things. I like the spot for Drew Holiday. He's always had that, he can step up opportunities, and this is a perfect spot for him. He comes out, he can show out. He's got the offensive ability. It's just, when you have people like Giannis on your team, you're going to let him do a lot of the work. So I think, it's at 21.5 right now for his points. And he's hit that 5 of 7 games that Giannis has not played in. I think this is a great spot for him again. So that's what I'll be backing on this game tonight. What about you?
I like that. They're missing a few wing guys, just to add to your point there. They're missing Pat Connaughton tonight and Grayson Allen. So I do like your angle on that one. And DiVincenzo. So he's probably to get some big minutes in the guard role.
I actually like the Bucks here, guys. I like the potential of just piggybacking off you of Drew Holiday having a great game and Middleton having just a normal Middleton game. Drew Holiday is not getting enough love for how he has stepped up this year. Who remembers last year in the playoffs, in the finals actually, where he was just struggling? I mean, we were literally. I mean, the headlines were literally like, maybe you should bench him because he's hurting you so bad. Yep. And he actually, towards the end of that series, ended up having a good game, I remember. And his defense is what helped them win in that final game. And I think he's playing fantastic this year. He's playing like a man on a mission. He's getting a lot of time to handle the ball. A lot of offenses running through him, especially with they missed time with Middleton. Giannis missed time, and now Giannis out again today. I see a big night for Drew. I see Chris Middleton and the other guys also pitching in and doing what they got to do. Milwaukee's at home tonight. Toronto's on a back-to-back. -3.5. I'm comfortable taking that. Not one of my best plays, but an official play for me on this game. I'm taking the Bucks -3.5. Okay, let's move on to the night slate. We got the Jazz versus the Nuggets here, guys. Utah is traveling to Denver. The line is -3. Utah's coming in as road favorites. Actually, I see Utah is down to -2.5. So that shows you, because I wrote these numbers down at the beginning of the show. Now they're already down to 2.5. This is what we call the laundry list of people out game. There are so many day-to-days on the Utah Jazz. These players could be announced at any moment, in or out. Donovan Mitchell, Jordan Clarkson, Rudy Gobert, Hassan Whiteside. Those are all the day-to-days that the Jazz have. I don't know if any one of those players have been officially named active yet or out. I don't believe so. And on the Nuggets side, we have just your normal Michael Porter Jr., Monte Morris, Austin Rivers out. Guys, I lean the Jazz here. I think that the more complete team, if they even get one of these players in tonight, I think they win. The big player for me is Rudy Gobert. If Rudy Gobert plays, the Jazz win this game. If Rudy Gobert doesn't and Hassan Whiteside don't, Jokic is going to have one of his greatest games of the year. Because of that, it's a very slight lean towards the Jazz, with me telling you, do not play it until you know what's up with the Jazz players. Plus, little note, and then I'm going to pass it off to you, BBB. The Jazz were the only team before yesterday to not have one single COVID person. And Joe Ingles was the first person on their team. Sadly, we know how this goes. Once one gets it, it's just a trickle-down effect. So be careful with the Jazz tonight. BBB, what do you like in this game?
All right, guys, we're going right back to the getting cute here, because I love the Nuggets in this spot. We're getting really cute today, so this could be dangerous or it could be really great. We're seeing a lot of money coming in on the Jazz here, but we're getting some reverse line movement. And there's one thing that I love in a game, it's reverse line movement. I think it's very telling. It's what Vegas wants you to take versus what you should take. I think the Nuggets, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that quote from like the last time they had played, or it was from a previous game about Jokic whenever
Gobert.
Whenever Gobert said like they were switching over and he said, I got him. And he said, you don't got anything. Like, I have 47 points right now.
Yep.
I think we see that again tonight, honestly. I mean, that's just a baller move in my book. But yeah, with all the line movement and, the Nuggets playing at home, short dog, I like them a lot here. I think they could win it outright. Jazz have a lot of issues going on right now. Whether they play or not, I think you should take this line now. It's only probably going to get shorter, and I wouldn't be surprised if more people get called out here. But so I'll be on the Nuggets tonight. What about you, Alpha?
I'm all over the Jazz, but pending a little bit of lineup information, guys, I agree with what Hefe said. I think if they get Rudy Gobert and maybe just one other of their wings back, I think they'll win this game pretty easily. They're a much better team, and the way they move the ball on the offensive end is going to completely disrupt Denver on the defensive end. Denver doesn't move well on defense, and I think that if they get their guys, this should be a runaway. But the line's indicating, guys, that we're going to have one or two of these guys rolled out. So I'd wait a little bit longer. It is one of my favorite plays of the day, but I'm also willing to wait till the line. If they roll a couple guys in, the line moves to Jazz -4, -5, I'm okay with that. If you are on BBB side and you are backing Denver in this spot, it's probably a good idea to lock it in now before you get a little bit more news. But if you're on the other side, like me and Hefe, I'm comfortable waiting. I know we always like to beat the line, but I think if we get the appropriate information in this one, the final line will still be good enough for the Jazz to cover.
Yep. Totally agree with you on that. Let's kind of reset before we go over the last two games of the night here. You guys already know. Shout out to Pure Wage. Wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. So go check him out because you won't be disappointed.
The GOAT.
All right, guys. 2 more games left. And in my opinion, they're great matchups. Great value. Let's go over the Heat versus the Blazers next. The Heat are coming into tonight, going into Portland as 2-point road favorites. Last time we saw the Heat, they covered but lost against the Warriors. Last time we saw the Blazers, they somehow won a game where Trae Young dropped 56 points on them, but Anthony Simmons decided to have the greatest game of his life. And, rest in peace, his grandfather who passed that day. He played in his honor and said that he just took over. And you love to see those types of performances.
Love
honestly.
it.
That warms my soul. So shout out to Anthony Simmons. He had the game of his life in a night that I know was so emotional. Let's bring us to tonight. The Heat are on the everybody is injured train. Who do we got, Alpha? You know who that? No Jimmy. Who else?
No Jimmy. No Bam. Hold on, I have both teams up. No Gabe Vincent. And I'm under just point guards. Give me one second. God. Yeah. Duncan Robinson, Deadman. They're Akbala, Garrett. They're missing the bulk of their guys. And guys, look at the other side at Portland. No Dave Lillard. No CJ McCollum.
No Larry Nance.
He's questionable. He's upgraded to questionable. So we'll see what happens with Nance. But that looks like the bulk of the injuries in this one. I guess you could throw Cody Zeller in there, but he's really not that big of a factor. He's going to be still out as well. But this is another injury bowl, man. Another backup versus backup. If you look at the biggest 4 names on each team, you're going to see Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and CJ McCollum. The top 4 all out. One of those games, guys. The big names tonight is going to be Lowry, Powell, Hero, and Nurkic. Hefe, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that I'm rolling with the Heat because the last time we saw the Blazers play, they shot 44% from three-point range, making 18. Anthony Simmons dropped 43, making 9 threes. Nasir Little went 4 or 5 from three-point range. Nurkic had a great game, 21 and 12. Norm Powell, 26. It's just not sustainable. The Heat,
of course not.
The Heat have more to play with, even though they have players out. Tyler Hero's still there. Kyle Lowry's still there. And Kyle Lowry will probably be the best player on the court tonight.
Agreed.
I can get the Heat at a money line here for -130, and that's my play of the game, and I love this play. What the Blazers did against the Hawks was nothing short of just a miracle for them, and God bless. Like we said, God bless. Give me the Heat tonight, -130. This isn't a hard decision for me. How about you, Alpha?
I just have one concern in this one, guys. All the defensive players for Miami are out. Tonight, they're going to be putting on the court probably a starting lineup that's going to have Yurtseven, Kyle Lowry, Tyler Hero, Max Strus, and Cody Martin. Not the best defensive unit, but on the other end, Portland doesn't really have any of their scorers but Norm Powell tonight. So I like the under in this one, guys. I think they're both going to slow down significantly. It's not going to be one of my best bets, but for a small play under 217, I just think that total is too high. I know Miami's missing a lot of defensive guys, like I said, but I don't think Portland's going to put up a ton of points tonight, and I know that Miami is not going to put up a ton of points. So 217 is a high total. Give me that under. BBB, what are you looking at?
Yeah, back on the prop train here. In an injury bowl like this, it's really just tough to like take a side on this one, in my opinion. Just so much variability of who's even going to be playing. Going back to our guy Anthony Simmons, who just had that big game. I'm actually not going to his points prop. I think a lot of people are probably thinking, oh yeah, he's going against all these bums now. You know, he should have another night. I actually like his over 4.5 assists. I think, like you said, there's not that many options. I think they'll be dishing it down to Nurkic a lot. And Norm Powell should get some good three-pointer opportunities. He is the Trailblazers have been really high on this guy for a long time. I think this is a great opportunity for him to show that I'm not just like a volume scorer that I pass it around. He has before. I think he opens it up a bit tonight and helps spread the ball around. Not really the Trailblazers motto there, but if he can show that he's about that, I think that'll help a lot tonight. So that's what I'm looking at. Maybe not an official play, but I think there's some good value on that. It's sitting at plus money right now.
Okay, respect that. I love the prop train. Well, you heard it here, folks. The injury bowl, Heat versus Blazers. I like that. I'm going to run with that. All right, guys. Last game of the slate. The Atlanta Hawks. Last time we saw them, Trey only did 56 points, but somehow lost the game. Whatever. I'm obviously not over it. And they're facing the Sacramento Kings, who are numero freaking uno on my shit list right now. Not really. The refs are, but no, the rule book is. Sorry. I'm obviously really not over last night.
The Kings are on my shit list. Take the Hawks. If you watched that game last night, you would know that the Kings on interior defense are the worst team that I've ever seen. What's his name, number 30? Hefe, you know the center.
Jones.
Jones. Oh, my God. He was on ice skates. How many travels, sliding left, bumping into guys. Interior, they can't do anything. I'm cutting you off. I'm not letting this continue. I am taking the Hawks. I don't even care if Trae Young plays. If Clint Capella is in this game, they're going to be fine. As long as they have one big man who can get fouled and get rebounds, I don't see the way the Kings can do anything. And emotionally, they're going to be so exhausted after yesterday. I love the Hawks tonight. One of my favorite plays of the night. Hawks -2. Hefe, sorry to cut you off. What are you liking?
I freaking love the Hawks tonight. Holy
Let's go.
crap. I love the Hawks. I love them so much. I might fly to Sacramento right after the show, sit courtside, because in Sacramento it's got to be like $12 to sit courtside, or maybe they give you a free Chick-fil-A sandwich. I don't know, but they might have to pay you to watch the game. Anyway, I love the Hawks tonight. You're telling me that Trae Young, coming off his greatest shooting performance ever in a loss, is not sitting in that hotel room right now, just freaking pacing, can't wait to get back on the court? He might drop another 50 piece tonight, because we all know from last night, the Kings and defense, they don't do that. They don't play that side of the court. No, they don't. They don't worry about what's happening over there. Hawks -135 on a money line. Give it to me. Absolutely give it to me. This is a bias. This is a recent bias line. This is Vegas looking at what the Hawks just did and what the Kings just did and saying, no, Hawks are better than the Kings. They will win this game. Give me the money line -135, one of my favorite plays of the night. BBB, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll keep it short, guys. I agree. I think it's Hawks here. I pretty much agree with everything you guys said there. Will also be one of my best bets of the day, which, speaking of...
Is it that time?
I think it's that time.
We had a comment from Cleepix in the chat. He is correct. Reminder, Trae Young is still bald. He is still bald. Ooh. Great call, Clee. He is still questionable. He is still questionable, guys, so be careful. We just got a comment from Chris Meek. Is Trae playing? I know he was questionable. He's been questionable the last couple games, and he has been going. I think he does go again. And, guys, it's about that time. Hefe, you got to pull it up for me to do the thing. Wade to LeBron. Best bets, boys. Let's get it. My first best bet is that Mavs Warriors under 214. It's my POD. It's my play of the night. My second best bet is going to be that Hawks -2. And then my last best bet, we're waiting a little bit, but it's going to be the Jazz at -2.5 right now. But I'll take it up to -5 if we get all our weapons back. BBB, what do you want tonight? Tell the people.
We're rocking with the Mavs, and we'll take the 5 points. That's what I have it listed on here on my book right now. I like it up to 4.5. I also rocking with the Hawks. Whole gang's on that, and then Nuggets plus the points. All right.
Wrong.
What about you, Hefe? I think I'm on just about opposite of every one of your picks. So.
No. You said Hawks. Don't worry. We're all on the Hawks. Well, let's start it off right there, baby. Play number 1 for me. It's the Hawks money line, -135. I love it. Play number 2, Heat money line, -130. I love it. Play number 3 is a direct fade of our friend BBB because I'm going with the Warriors -4.5 to spoil Dirk night for all you Mavericks fans. I'm sorry. I have to do it.
How do we do this, guys? First of all, we have 3 PODs on the same game that are all different. We have the under, we have the home team, and we have the away team. All his best bets on this one. We're guaranteed to get at least one.
All right, let's. What do we got? We got like a second here. Let's go through some comments here. Yes, way to Braun. McBeth said Alpha's still cute. I didn't realize he ever was. And Cherry Swisher says Hawks again, smiley face. I promise you, we are turning that frown upside down tonight. Just believe it, guys. Thank you as always. Another great episode of OTB. And as you know, we'll be right here, same time, same place tomorrow. So make sure you're there. Thanks everybody for watching.
Creighton and Syracuse tonight. College basketball. Love both those plays. Both dogs. Creighton, Syracuse. Les